What's up, you guys, and welcome back to the Fly Plant Journey. My name is Janessa, aka the Fly Plant Mama, and today I just wanted to show you my lovely, beautiful plant babies that live in water. I love seeing their roots grow. It's an amazing phenomenon. So I wanted to show you a few of my plant babies today on how I care for them and how they live. So let's start with, okay, well, this one here is the bamboo plant. I did get inspired by my mom with the bamboo plant. She literally has this all over her house, and it's because it is hard to kill. All you have to do, really, is fill this baby with water. But I would say the key to this is filtered water. Tap water is no bueno. The roots will suffer, the plant will suffer. And I think that's a rule of thumb for all of my water propagated plant babies. They all need filtered water. So this has been in this water for, I would say, definitely over a year. And there's some decorative rocks to make it look a little bit more zen. And yeah, the roots continue to grow. Well, the thing about this though is that sometimes they can grow a little too long and they need to be trimmed because then the roots will suffocate in the rocks. That is important when you are growing bamboo in water, especially with decorative rocks. Always want to trim the roots if it gets a little too big. If a bamboo turns yellow, it's a goner. There's no hope for that. So I would remove it right away so that it would not continue to spread that bad juju to the rest of the bamboo plant. So this here lives with 3 other beautiful bamboo plants in my lovely planter above my bar. It just shows a really cool vertical element. You actually can't see the beautiful rocks in the planter, but I know it's there. And that's all that matters. Now this beautiful Dracaena, I believe this is a Lisa Cane. It's a little baby, but it actually was a little bud that came from my mom's mother plant. And she cut this baby off. And I just stuck it in this little vase. And this is growing on my kitchen sill. Actually, it's a window kitchen sill that's facing my living room. It does get light from the kitchen window, as well as the LED lights in the kitchen, the recessed lighting. But yeah, it's grown some little hardy roots, and yeah, it's doing well. There's a little baby growing in the center, which is where the Dracaena leaves grow from, right in the crown. And there is a little baby coming. And so I'm really excited about that. For the Dracaenas, the easy way to go about it is literally just taking a cutting. And this is very much like a bamboo-like branch as well, similar to the bamboo plant, but it's not a bamboo. I would say it's maybe like the cousin of the bamboo. All you have to do is take a cutting from any part of the branch and stick that in filtered water, and soon enough you will get, ta-da, beautiful roots. FYI, water propagation doesn't always produce roots. Now my next plant baby that I absolutely adore, also from my mom. Mama, shout out to you. I love you so much, and you've inspired me to be the plant mama that I am today. So the student has become the teacher, kinda. I'm still learning, to be honest. I'm a student of life forever until I die. But anyway, back to this. This is a beautiful Diffenbachia. I love her so much. I think I will show you a little B-roll of my mom's mother plant. That thing is huge. I think it's like 8, even probably 10 feet tall. And just like the Dracaena and the bamboo plant, the Dieffenbachia also grows on a bamboo-like branch, and this one is BANGIN. So, for this beautiful Dieffenbachia, aka dumb cane, all we did really was we took a cutting. This was actually a pup that sprouted from the bottom of the plant. And it's so cool. It just came out of the bamboo-like branch and grew this beautiful thing. This leaf here, actually wasn't here when we first cut it, but in water, it grew another leaf. So that just tells me, and look how beautiful and healthy these leaves are. And I love the variegation of these. It's so underrated. Dieffenbachias are hella fly. I am so into them. And of course, because it grows in water, look at these roots. Look how bangin' these roots are. I literally cut this little baby right here back in August. This has been growing for just a few months now, and it has been sprouting like crazy. So I think I'm just gonna let it do its thing and hope that it grows another baby, because that will just make me so happy. Now this here is another one of my pride and joys. I love Ficus Tineke for this guy. Love rubber plants. They're freaking gorgeous. All the variations, the Tineke, the burgundy, the ruby, they're all beautiful. Fun fact, why they're called a rubber plant is because the sap in this plant can produce rubber. That's how they make rubber in India. This is actually a native to India. So thank you, India, for these beautiful plants that we can now grow here in the States. So for this baby, she lives on top of my bar, which has become the propagation station for a bunch of my cuttings, and it receives light from this LED recessed lighting right above the bar. Honestly, I was supposed to pot these up hella long ago, so please don't come at me for that, because like I said, once I realized that they can grow in water, I am just like, you know what? You look good, girl, in this recycled sake bottle. But okay, let's be real. So I cut this back in November of last year. Now this is over a year now in water, and I mean, she just grew so much roots for me. I am not mad about it. I am obsessed with it. And this is the part where it's really hard to see. This is why I shouldn't be pulling you out. I'm sorry, girl. Just like so. Yes. When you propagate too, you have to give it ample lighting. Has to be bright. Indirect light. Don't ever let your propagation cuttings be in direct light. The foliage will burn. It will not be happy. So keep that in mind. But my place is, I mean, as you can see, it's pretty low lit, you know. That's why I have a lot of artificial LED lights in my home, so that my plant babies can continue to thrive in this cabin-like environment. Majority of the lights that my plants get come from artificial LED lights, and the only natural light that this area gets is from these east-facing windows that bring in bright morning light, but in the afternoon, it becomes a low-lit situation. So I have LED lights, thank the Lord for recessed lighting, and LED lights, artificial lights. You know, they love it, so thank God for that. But you must give it some kind of light source, because that is how the roots will continue to grow when the leaves are being photosynthesized with light. So when I first got it, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves on this little cutting, and it grew 3 more. This just ballooned, this unfurled like not too long ago, and it's like, come on. And there's another one. There's another baby coming. I don't know if you could see this, but it's happening. It's doing its thing. And I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Isn't it cute? I love her. Now this Monstera Adansonii, I just love it. This is my very first to be honest, my only Monstera Adansonii. When I got it, I had not seen anything like it. And this was purchased from my friend's plant shop in Highland Park called Leaf and Spine. Shout out to Dustin and Ernestine. I love you guys. I'm so proud of you. If you live in Highland Park or in LA or in Southern California, definitely check them out. Unfortunately, you could only purchase at their store. So yeah, so you should make a trip to Highland Park because Leaf and Spine is poppin' and they have the best rare plants. So this is one of my very first Monstera Adansonii, and I am obsessed because they had this already in a cutting in this really cute propagation station or bottle, and I would say it probably had 5 leaves. 5 leaves to start. And okay, let's talk about when I bought this thing. I got her about, no joke, maybe almost 2 years ago. So it's been in water for a very long time. And she didn't have that much roots to begin with. But now, and I am not going to try to take her out of this little thing because this hole is just so little, so small. So cute though. But look at all these roots, you guys. Look at that. Insane. And the leaves are just continuously popping out. Yes, it could thrive more in soil, but because it's growing so much in this, I mean, it's getting a little wild. It was a little bit more structured, but I'm still in love. Now this lives on my bar. It's kind of like the propagation station bar. And yeah, it's growing underneath an LED recessed lighting that goes over the bar, and it loves it. Now I do have a little like one suffering here. I wonder if it is because it's like, bruh, put me in soil so I can thrive. I don't know if that's why it's turning yellow. I don't know. I mean, it just started turning yellow. So it's been fine for over a year and some. What's up? I mean, it's too late to pot you, right? Is it too late? It would be very hard for all these roots, which are water roots. Just a little FYI, when you propagate plants and cuttings in water, the roots are very different from the roots that grow in soil. So if you do plan on potting up your propagated cuttings and they've grown roots, plant them when they're at least 2 to 3 inches long, like right away, so that it could be easier for the cutting to acclimate in the soil. At this point, with this many water roots, I don't even know if I haven't tried, because obviously I have them still in water. This is literally, I think, my oldest propagation, to be honest. And I do not want to take the risk of killing it in soil. But if you have any water propagated cuttings that you've had for a very long time in water, and then you planted it in soil and it lived and it's thriving, so let me know in the comments below, because I would love to know how you did it. Share the knowledge. Inquiring minds want to know. But I don't want this to die in water, so this is a little sign. It's scaring me a little bit, the little yellow crispy tip situation. Should I make another cutting? This thing shot out like crazy. This is a very good cutting right here. If I was to just cut right here below the node, this is a node. If I cut right below there and I stuck that in filtered water, I have good hope in this to continue to grow. And then maybe I could plant that guy. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. What should I do with this It's looking kind of crazy, but I do love it still. I do love it. The velvety leaves, so pretty. So yeah, there's that. Now this here is my very first Fiddle Leaf Fig. You guys, if anybody has been following me since day one, I know I don't have a ton of videos, but if you do follow me on IG or whatever, and if you've been my homie for a good minute, now y'all know that I cannot drive. Why? Because I have a condition called epilepsy. Because of that, the DMV took my license away. But anyway, long story short, I can't drive, so therefore I can't buy big Fiddle Leaf Figs, which I obviously obsessed over for a very long time, because that was everybody's like key home interior design staple plant. Am I right or am I right? Anyway, my homegirl Camille, hi babe, I love you. She has some Fiddle Leaf Figs, some bomb booming ones, and she was so kind enough to give me a cutting from her mother plant. Now, I got her, I would say, also over a year ago. The moment I saw a new leaf coming from this thing in the water, I was like, let's just see how far it goes. And so far, let's see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I had 5 leaves, and the biggest one was just kind of jacked up. So I cut that guy off, and I grew 4 freaking more. And there's another one growing. You guys, I mean, hello. Okay, now let's look at the roots. Look. Oh, it won't even come out. Ooh. Ah. Oh, shoot. Maybe I shouldn't pull the whole thing out, or else it'd be so hard to put it back in. But look. Oh my God. Yeah. Hella roots, right? This girl is rooty AF. Oh my God. Get back in there. So, I mean, you know, like, why pot it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, you know, I'm just gonna let her do her thing. So this beautiful Fiddle Leaf Fig baby will remain in water. Filtered water, that is. The good old faithful pothos. I have this baby everywhere in my house because it's just like almost indestructible. And this also brings so much jungle vibes. Like the vines is insane. I mean, I don't even know if you could even see what's going on here because there's just so much foliage. But what I did was I took cuttings from a mother plant that I have, and she has like a mix of like jade pothos, and I think this is like a marble pothos as well within the mother plant. So I just took a bunch of different cuttings from that, stuck this in water, and look at all those roots. And the cool thing is these roots are growing from the different tail nodes within the vine, and it just does its thing. And it's grown so much. Like, look at this. Like, there's new babies even now growing. Now, I have this in water. I've been having this in water. I think I did cuttings when pandemic first hit. So that was what? March. And yeah, it's just been booming. And I like it. I really like it in this water. And this actually lives over there by my little sitting area, my little nook, read books, listen to records, you know. It's a vibe. So that's where she lives. Okay, so another one of my faves, and whose isn't, the Monstera Deliciosa monster leaves. I mean, they definitely get way bigger than this. But I got these cuttings from my Tita Gem, from her garden, I would say about August. And look at how much roots have grown since then. Insane. Have you ever seen Monstera roots that look like, I don't know, to me, it's almost like a a tail, like a rat's tail or something, but they're massive and they're actually kind of soft. It's almost like kind of like furry. It's so gorgeous, like the way that it just coils up and grows so long and so thick. And honestly, again, like this as a centerpiece for me is just adorable. I mean, it's so tropical vibes, and I'm an island city girl, and who doesn't love a beautiful monstera? And these leaves are just so healthy. They've grown so much that it might be a little bit hard for it to acclimate into soil, but I think I will, because I want to keep it alive. But let me know, have you grown cuttings, monstera cuttings in water, and how long have you had it in there? Does it last longer than a year or two? Because if it does, I'm keeping this baby in this mason jar. Because just, I mean, look at it. It's cute. It's so cute. Yes, you are. I love it. And this lives also in my little seating nook over there by the window. So it gets a little natural light, but it also gets a little light from LEDs in the plant studio. So that's Monstera. I'm sure you know what these are. These are snake plants, mother-in-law's tongue, and I still call it Sansevierias because these are Dracaenas. This is a Dracaena. This does not look like a Dracaena, and I've never seen a flower on a Dracaena or a snake plant. So this is called a Sansevieria to me. But anyways, so this is very much like a succulent-like plant. And I got these beautiful cuttings from my mother-in-law in Santa Clarita. Shout out to Mom. I just straight up took cuttings from their garden. And the thing about succulent-like plants, such as the snake plant, you have to let them callus over after you cut them. So once you cut them, make sure you let them dry out for at least 24 hours before you put it in the filtered water. Because if you put it directly from cutting to the water, it's probably gonna have a leaf rot. And who wants that, right? So yes, definitely make sure to let them callus over. Now the cool thing about these guys, you can propagate multiple pieces, but look how pretty this is. Like as a structure in this vase, it's like, I mean, it's pretty poppin'. I really like how it looks long in a vase. And in water, not only did it grow roots, but it also grew another baby. Look at this. See, now because of the fact that these babies are not only growing roots but growing babies in water, it just makes me happy and it gives me hope, and I'm just like, why do anything when you're just doing your thing in the water? I think you're chilling, I think you like it. And this one in particular, alongside other Sansevieria cuttings that I have, it is living in another planter by the front door hallway. And yeah, it just kind of adds like a really cool vertical element, as well as like a boundary between the hallway and the bathroom area. So yeah, I just love it, and it does well. Another cool thing about these is that it's a low light tolerant plant, so it doesn't get a ton of light there all the time. It always gets light when the LED recess lighting for the hallway is on, and it's not always on, but it gets enough. And I think that's why it doesn't have a ton of roots. The roots will grow crazy if it's getting more light, so keep that also in mind. More light, more roots. Last but not least, I'm a Filipino who loves green onions. And if you didn't know, green onions can live in water. I mean, not for a long time, but you can definitely harvest a few times once you put some green onions in here. Now, you do need the bottom of the green onion for the roots to come. So like, let's say if you bought some at the grocery store and you see those roots at the bottom, the white part, those are roots. Once you take the amount of green onions that you need to cook, stick this part in water, filtered water. And then they grow again. And then you cut it down when you want to eat. And you put that on top of your ramen, put in your fried rice, put in your arroz caldo. All the yummy things that green onions can just spice up a little bit. But I'm telling you, green onions, if you love it, propagate. You don't have to keep buying them. You know, sometimes they go bad in the fridge because they go bad fast. So stick that in water and let it kind of do its thing and stay fresh for a little while. So a few things to kind of go over to just kind of keep all these babies alive. And like I mentioned, lighting. They need bright indirect light, whether it be from the sun or artificial LED. Use filtered water. Very, very important. Especially if you're in LA or Southern California. Our tap water sucks. So, filtered water. Also, it's very important about the level of water. Now, you don't want to put, like, let's say here. I only put enough water for, I should put just a little bit more actually, but I would never put it all the way to the top or where they all meet, like right here in the crotch area, if that makes sense. Or you don't want to put leaves in the water because that will then become leaf rot and that just dies off and it makes your water stink. So definitely be mindful about the level of water that you're putting your cuttings in. See, the roots are drinking up the water. So make sure to fill your bottles up again because the water will deplete. So if you want them to continue to thrive and live, make sure to put more water in. Sometimes you might find little squiggly creatures, little things swimming around in the water. Now those are mosquito larvae. It's disgusting. When I first saw it in my pothos, I was like, what the heck is that? It's like crawling like little worms inside. So I was like, So make sure to rinse your roots when you change out the water. It is good to change out your water every now and then. I won't say every week because I know that's a little extra. I mean, I ain't mad at if you do because it is good to do that. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't do that. But I will do it every now and then to kind of keep the water clean, keep the roots clean. Because after I got those mosquito larvae, I was like, I better do the cleaning more often. Now, when you take a cutting and you want it to thrive and make sure that it continues to live in water, always get a cutting that has 2 to 3, maybe 4 leaves on the cutting. The more leaves, I mean, I wouldn't say like hella leaves, but I do think that if you have 3 or 4, it would give it a better chance to grow because then you'll have more leaf surfaces for it to photosynthesize and give energy to push out growth in the water. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching my video and I hope you enjoyed meeting all my plant babies that live in water. And you know, it is nice to see roots grow in water and you don't have to mess with soil. So it's nice to just be able to look at my beautiful plant babies and just to fill it with a little filtered water. Be like, how you doing? Now, if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever. If you like it or hate it, just let it be known. And if you have any questions or even some suggestions, then please leave the comments below. And if you are feeling the whole fly plant journey vibe, then please subscribe to the channel and let's be homies. All right? Well, hope to see you and meet you soon. Stay safe and stay fly. Peace.